Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Hello and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and today we're going to do another episode of Overcoming Cancer and Other Obstacles. And if you're new to this podcast, my name is Joe Grumbine, and in October of 2024, I was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma. And there's a whole story behind that. There's, I think, 20 episodes dedicated to that story. So this is one of them. I'm not bringing everybody all the way up to speed in this episode, but there is a huge amount of information about this case and all the things that we're trying to do with it. Remember, this is a podcast to educate people, to help people that are in a bad spot find answers. And I am taking this experience that I'm going through, and I'm hoping that people that either were diagnosed with a life-changing illness or supporting somebody who's going through that, maybe can find some peace, find some clarity, find an anchor point that you can say, well, I know life is chaotic and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know who to listen to and I'm confused and I'm all alone and all these things. Well, you're not. And there are lots of people going through whatever it is you're going through. And I've learned that we find these people, we share the information, and then we teach people how to find answers. I'm never going to tell you that what I'm doing is good for you. I'm just sharing the experience that I'm going to heal myself of this cancer. And today I want to talk about help. And whatever side you're on of this, whether you're, I don't want to say victim, whether you have cancer or whether you're a husband or a wife of somebody who does, or a mother or a grandmother or a friend, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, obviously, but if you're a support or a person who's dealing with the illness, there are things when people come and say, I want to help, or you as a helper or somebody who wants to help says, I want to help. The first thing I want to mention, there's two types of people that say, I want to help. And this is really important. And as somebody who is either a support person who's building a team and building resources, or somebody who needs these resources, please figure out how to separate these two. And one can become another and back and forth, but generally there are people who, like, they're curious or they care about you or whatever, but they don't have any intention of actually helping you in a tangible, meaningful way. But maybe they do still want to help. And that's important. And then there's another type of person who has empathy and actually wants to make a difference and wants to help you to accomplish your goals. And I think that this is important. So as somebody who's going through this, I've realized there's a lot of different kinds of people that deal with cancer. And I'm not the normal. Most of the time when people, well, no, I don't know about most, but many times when people hear about this, number one, they're older. I'm 58 years old, and I'm a little young to have this, but I'm right in that age bracket where a lot of people my age are dealing with this. There are people who get told by the doctor, you have cancer, you have 6 months to live, and they just begin dying. They don't know what to do. The doctor says, well, we're going to give you huge doses of chemotherapy and radiation, and it's going to do this to you, and you'll do this. And they just follow suit and ultimately succumb. There are even cases where there's a case up in, I think it was Minnesota or Michigan. A doctor about 10 years ago or 8 years ago was sentenced to 40 years in prison for falsely diagnosing and treating people with cancer. And people would come to him, and he was a chemo doctor, a medical oncologist, And he would diagnose these people and put them on a chemo treatment, and then they would die. And they believed, and it was probably the chemo that killed them, but I think a lot of it has to do with what you're being told and what you believe and what your goals are. So for me, to be straightforward, my goal is to be whole and healthy and well, and maybe even better than I was before I had all this. And that's my goal. So when I'm asking for help, or if I ask for help, that's what you would be supporting. Now, there are plenty of people that fit all sorts of things. So just realize there's people who get cancer and people try to raise money for them, and then people support them. And then they come to find out that, I don't know, whatever, maybe they don't agree with something, or they don't like the way they're going about it, or they don't like the way they're spending the money and all of that stuff. So just realize whatever side you're on this, take some time and get to know the story, get to know it. If you want to help somebody tangibly, then really want to help them. And then I'm going to show you some ways that you can do that. So the first thing I would say, and this is maybe the most important thing, I've had many people reach out to me over the last couple of months, and some people I've known for a long time, some people I've just met, some people heard about the situation, and most people wish me well. Just yesterday, I had somebody who is a dear friend, somebody who's one of the most influential people of my younger life, between the ages of probably 10 and 20. And we were talking yesterday, and he just asked how I was doing. I told him what was up, and he got all down. He was like, wow, that sucks. I'm sorry. And then when I went to the dentist the other day in preparation for possibly doing radiation, the dentist did the same thing. He's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, fuck you. Don't be sorry for me. I'm trying to solve a problem. Help me solve the problem. I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me. I do not feel sorry for myself. And I am not looking or asking for pity. And I think most people are not doing that either. So when somebody comes to you and says, oh man, it's too bad what's going on, what is that doing? It's reinforcing this negative. And frankly, please don't do that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like the person or don't. There's just no reason to be negative. I believe very strongly that positive thoughts and words, actions, if it's positive, it's healing. If it's negative, it's harmful. So just start there, okay? Just be positive. If you want to help, but you don't have a lot of resources and you're afraid that your help isn't going to matter or be good enough or be judged or whatever, then don't offer help. But just check in once in a while. You know, what do we do today? We get our feelings hurt over stupid shit on social media, and we don't talk to each other for weeks, months, years, or we let relationships fall apart. And I watch this happen over and over again. I'm guilty of it. I'm the worst. I'm just like, hey, if it's not working out, get on out. And I filtered out a lot of bad relationships by doing that. But what I'm not going to do anymore is let a good relationship sit idle. And maybe that's one of the good things that are coming out of this. If you know somebody is sick, don't ignore them. Think about them. Even if that's all you do is just think about them. Or say a little prayer for them. Or put a little nudge on their social media. Or send them a text. Or a little call. The people that are doing that to me right now are filling my heart and my soul and giving me energy to move on. I have a visualization that I do that is, I call it my little box. And inside of my spirit, I have this box, and it's where I receive energy. And so whether I'm grounding myself and visualizing, energy coming out of the middle of the earth, or coming from God, or coming from the heavens or the universe or my food or wherever, I visualize it going into this box, and then it's there for me. It's like a battery. And anytime somebody just calls me just to say, hey, man, just checking in. How you doing today? You sound good today. I heard that thing you did. Or, oh, I listened to your podcast. That was really cool. Whatever. It fills that box. And the people that do the best with life-affecting illnesses, cancer or otherwise, doesn't matter. I'm not isolating this to cancer. That's why I say other obstacles. Their community, their outlook, their support are one of the most important factors. And the people that don't have it generally wither up and die. And the people that do have it generally thrive. So you can be a part of that, and you can help somebody just simply by checking in. And that's it. Being positive. So then let's go up beyond that, okay? And you want to, now you've taken it on. I have a handful of people, and that number is growing, and I'm very excited and pleased, and I believe that we're going to be able to really make some big moves here once we get it figured out, that have said, Joe, I believe in you. You've helped so many people over the years. You've done so much good for the world. I want to help you get well. I want to help you recover. And I don't know what we can do yet, but I just know that I want to be there for you. And I've had enough people say that I'm like, okay, well, we got a team now. We're going to be able to figure this out and figure out the resources necessary for me to do the things that I need to do to solve the problem, right? But this isn't just for me. What we're doing is building a tool that can be used for anybody who needs it once we figure it out. And I think that when somebody is just willing to say, hey, man, I really support you, not what most people do, what can I do to help? You know? And then how do you answer? You know, if you're somebody who's dealing with this and somebody says, well, I want to help you, and like me, I'm in a spot, and I'm not going to go deep into this right now. The subscriber issues, we get into the details. So if you're listening to something and you go, oh, wow, I want to know more about that, subscribe to the podcast. There's subscriber-only issues that go really deep and detail-oriented about some of this stuff that you might want to be involved with. But just to let somebody know that I really care and I really want to do something tangible, as opposed to, hey, man, what can I do to help? So now you're the guy who needs the help, and somebody says, I want to help. What do you do? What do you ask? Oh, well, I need $1,600 for a doctor, bill that I don't have money to pay for, or I need $1,000 a month for this therapy that would help me if I could afford it, or I need, a ride back and forth to a doctor's visit 40, 50, an hour and a half away. Those are things I need. I don't know, can you help me with that? Those are things that are hard for somebody who, like me, I've never asked anybody for anything in my life. I don't want help from people. I want to solve the problem, without burdening anybody. And that's another piece of the puzzle. Like sometimes somebody might have some assets. I have a vehicle and I have a home, but my wife of 30 years and I built this together, and this is hers as well. And as much as she would sacrifice anything for me, this isn't on her to do that. And if I was to take and just sell my house and go move to a little apartment somewhere or whatever and take all the money that I got from my house and just use that to pay for everything, would that really help anything? Eventually, we don't know what's going to happen. And my wife and I have built a healing center and a legacy that I believe will help people for generations. And if we sold that out and got rid of it and turned it into, whatever, the doctor bills, that would die. And 30 years of working this property and helping people would be gone. And I'll sacrifice myself before I sacrifice that. So that's my story. But everybody's got a story. And everybody's got reasons. If you really care for somebody, maybe listen to them rather than judge them. We're so quick to judge people's words and actions. We're always, well, you should just do this. Well, if that's your thoughts, then please don't bother. Don't even come around. If you really want to help, then come forward with an open mind, and let's be solution oriented. I'm going to lay out a lot of possible ways that people could help and just kind of leave it at that. But these are just things that came to my mind, and I'll be articulating all this stuff in the subscriber episodes as we figure out a campaign for this tool that we're building. But just think about the different things that somebody might need. So for my integrative therapy, I have a need for a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. It's going to be really important for me to have a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. And I grow some, but as I'm going through these treatments, depending on what my resources are, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. I hope and believe that I'll be able to always grow a decent amount of my fresh vegetables, but regardless, everybody needs them. There's going to be foods, there's going to be supplements, there's going to be spices or herbs and things, there's going to be teas, all different consumable items that somebody needs. So if somebody goes, oh, I got to GoFundMe, I need to raise $20,000, and people say, well, what's that for? And you go, well, I got a hospital bill, I got a surgery, I got a copay, I got to come up, like me, I got a $20,000 copay, I got to figure out where that's going to come from. And I don't have the money, so we're going to figure it out. Sometimes people have worse than that. Sometimes I've got some crappy insurance, but sometimes people don't have any insurance. And then you get caught in the county stuff, and then they're not going to give you what you need. I have opportunities to do a number of integrative therapies. I have an enzyme that I am confident is key to my success, but it's cost me $1,000 a month. And maybe I only take half of what I need, and I can do that for $500 a month. But regardless, that's got to come from somewhere. I got to figure that out. I've got a couple of supplements and items that I take as medicine. It costs money. I've got trips to the doctor bill. I'm about to go to the dentist, and they may have to pull 2 of my teeth prior to possibly getting radiation. I have no money for that. I don't know where that's going to come from. I'll figure it out. I got to keep this thing moving forward. I got a giant lump on the side of my neck that's trying to choke me. I feel it pushing on my throat every day, and my time window is closing for me to take the action needed to solve my problem. So I'm being aggressive. Massive action gets massive results. You sit around and wait. I sat around and waited for a year and a half because I had a doctor that told me, you probably don't have cancer. You probably have a benign lump, and you should probably get that taken out. That's what I got from my doctor, and I believed him. And here I am. I made some bad choices, lots of bad choices that made the lump, and then one bad choice that caused me to not take care of it when I did. And here I am at the last second of the last minute of the last day, and I'm going full throttle, and we're going to solve this thing. So I think if you really want to help somebody, take them aside and say, hey, man, I'm in this, and let's come up with a plan. If you want to help them and you don't have any resources and you don't have any inclination to, put your time or really make this a real project, or whatever scale you can, at very least, you can do some things that take no effort at all. And frankly, if you don't do that, any of these things, please don't bother. There's so much hypocrisy out there. There's so much predators out there. There's so many people that are disingenuous. And what they do, so if you're engaged actively in trying to solve a medical problem, all of your resources and all of your energy need to go to that. And any other place that they go is depleting you. And as you get depleted, your ability to fight this disease diminishes. So really, for anybody who's listening to this, for me particularly, but for anybody, if you actually want to help, please come forward. If you just want to watch the train wreck, I don't care. I'm putting it out there for everybody to watch, but zip it. I don't want to hear from you, please. And if you want to F with me, come around and do it in my face and let's see what happens. Please, the energy, the will to fight is the most important thing. I have it. I'm encouraging anybody who's suffering to come and talk to me. I'll give some to you. I believe that we all have the power to heal our own bodies. And there's no silver bullet answer. Every answer is multi-layered and stacked and has many, 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 many variables. And I know this is the truth. I'm 100% sure of it. And if you're interested in learning more, keep listening. There's going to be many more episodes coming along. If you want to support me, I have a simple way at this moment. You can subscribe to this podcast. And you can make a donation every month. And I don't care if you don't even listen to it. You say, hey, man, I'll kick you down $5 a month. That's awesome. $3 a month, $20 a month. All that does is it allows this show to continue. And if we end up raising some money, there'll be some resources to work with. That's just another thing that you can do. And if you want to watch the train wreck, that's where the real train wreck's going to be happening. All right, stay tuned. We're getting ready to record a big chunk of subscriber content with a number of special guests. And we're going to go deep into this plan and many other things. So thank you so much to everybody who has supported this. And we will see you next time. This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right, well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.